Do. Okay, let me get this set up. I'm going to be watching Major Malfunction over on LiveMe, so give me just a second, and we will be in on that. Let me move this. Oh, no, okay. You there. Need to be able to move over here. That's not bad at all, but then let's check out our... it looks like it could go down a little farther. Like that, maybe? It's a little over. Let me see here if I move this. Oh my god, okay, I don't need the stats one. Doop, 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 doop.
You would be a great paid broadcaster. You can make money doing it, which is like technically true, but they make it seem like they're gonna help you market yourself more than they do. Okay, so although my agent is amazing. So anyway, but I'm lucky in that regard. Because she was honest with me about what the expectations are. But that's not always the case. So what ends up happening is people get like pressured into getting contracted, and the fact that they make it so that there's not a minimum required level to be contracted, there's a maximum required level to be contracted. You can't be past a certain level. Ross the boss, welcome. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. It's been a minute.
Come on.
So, here's what happens. They go, minimum, okay, required level to be you cannot be more than level 30 in order to get contracted. So what this means is that they are primarily approaching new broadcasters, right? People who are new to the app, under level 30, not a lot of experience. Generally speaking, not a huge fan base if they're under broadcaster level 30. Okay, so now you have agencies or the app required employees level to be contracted. You can't be past a certain level. Ross the boss. So anyway, so you have now it's so good to employees see you. You're here. It's been a minute. The app trying to get people contracted, which makes sense. It's one of the ways that they make money. They go okay. The app so trying to get people contracted in order to get contracted. So what this means is that they are primarily approaching new...
Jesus Christ, I forgot the stream was running twice. That's what it was, okay.
There are minimum requirements for this contract. Do you see where the problem is? Not that it's not doable, super loud. But like, I specifically waited until I was already doing 10K a month, and I could reliably count on that. But I had built up my fan base, and I just barely got in under broadcaster level 30, and only because I've been doing this for 15 years, live streaming in general. So like, where I'm at. This is why I try to be honest about what is going on behind the scenes, what exactly is happening in a contract. And this creates this situation where they don't tell people not to get contracted if they're not already meeting the terms of the contract. Ross the boss, turning up in this bitch this morning. I appreciate the hell out of you, friend. I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to see you. It's been so long. Yeah, I am airing. Oh, I'm speaking truth to power up in this. Easy. But anyway, so it's like it's creating this situation where people who are not already meeting the terms of the contract are getting roped into this contract with the knowledge that they're not meeting these terms, like not meeting these terms, and they're generally and they're under a certain level, so they don't have, like, do you see where the conflict is happening here? Like, the math is not mathing at all, and if they made it a minimum level requirement instead of a maximum level requirement, it would require more participation, and then the people who are contracted would be the people who worked really hard to get to where they are and already have an established fan base, so they're not gonna like break the terms of the contract. Anyway, I need a huge favor. All right, what's up? What can we do for you, Ross? Too many rules, too many mixed rules per group. Oh, well, I don't fuck with any of that. I don't do mixed signals. I don't do kingdom or group drama. And all of my agencies and kingdom folks, like, they all know that about me. I don't get involved in any of that. Unless someone's a bigot, I don't fucking care. Like, I want to know if someone's a racist or like a homophobe or something, but other than that, there's not. All right, what's up, Ross? What's up?
You hear me?
Yeah. Okay, Case.
How
I've been right. How about you?
I got work today at 3. I'm just chilling.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
But I need
been sick the last couple of days. So. Huh?
I pray you get well, baby.
Oh God, me too. I'm feeling a little better. Okay, Rover, I'll see you later.
I need a favor. I need another
Need another graphic?
Yeah, before Wednesday.
Before Wednesday? It's quite the ass.
Yeah, that's why I've been looking for you.
Perfect. That's exciting. You need another before Wednesday. All right. So
I'm trying to do something 420 for that's the weed day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. I live in Humboldt County. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, I want everything about marijuana.
Okay, you want a weed themed graphic? So
I got some weed plants and shit. I already got some pictures. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got some, but I already got a couple of things.
Okay. Well,
for you know.
Okay. Well, I am selling them now. And
oh, I already know that.
No, I just wanted to warn you. after I got done practicing, I kept getting yelled at by big broadcasters that I really trusted. I was underselling myself. They kept getting mad. I was just like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad asking anything for it, but then people kept getting mad at me for being like, I don't know, 200 diamonds. They were like, bitch, what? Like, that's time. What do you mean? I was like, I know it. It's my time, though. Does it matter that much? Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So weed themed. Let me. I'm starting a new canvas here just so that I don't forget. So we're doing cannabis. And then, do you have specific pictures that you want me to use?
Yeah, I need to find them and get them to you.
Send
I'm
me
gonna try to.
whatever you want me to use, or like give me a lot of options. Even if I don't use it all, I'll use a bunch of it
You know,
on Instagram.
you should know all the weed slangs and.
I do know all the weed slangs. Yeah. So it's just about dab time, actually. I've been hitting my pen,
She
but
say dab.
yeah, all day.
So you say you've been sick?
Yeah, just like the last 2 or 3 days, I'm finally feeling a little better today. Just in case, me and my partner are gonna take a COVID test later this evening, and
Okay,
just to be safe, just so I don't go and breathe on my mom or, or something, you know. Um, but other than that,
spread it.
right, exactly. I care about my community, as it turns out, and I really don't like the idea of getting everyone in my neighborhood sick. That sounds fucking terrible, actually. So
Yeah.
some people just don't care at
I ain't
all.
been seeing you live lately. But you say you
Yeah,
living in the weather.
yeah, that's exactly it. About 3 days I've been not feeling good.
You ain't been on?
No, no, I haven't even been like. I've just been sleeping, pretty much
Yeah,
sleeping
cause
and
I've
playing
been
video
looking.
games.
I've been trying to find you, cause you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, because Wednesday's coming up. All right, create a
I was
design,
look.
custom
Hold on.
size. Let's see here. Get my
Doggone looking.
canvas started, and take your time.
But
Send me all those images you want me to use on Insta. Gummy Worm Jim is in the house. Actually, I really wanted to give a quick shout out to Gummy Worm Jim for hosting us on his Twitch channel right now. Special shout out to Twitch TV / Gummy Worm Jim. Seriously amazing.
damn, I'm gonna.
And welcome, by the way, Ross the Boss, also featured on
Boy,
that channel at the moment, because he is joining me. Thinking about maybe asking you some questions via text. That would be
profile
totally fine.
picture, and
You're
she like my
totally welcome.
profile picture.
That's awesome. Yeah, Ross,
Y'all
you
trying
send
to
me all
get the
the
profile.
pictures that you want. And I'm gonna reclaim my screen for just a second, because I think Gummy has some questions for me for his
Oh, that's
Twitch
cool.
audience. And I will keep checking my Instagram and get started on that graphic as soon as I get those images.
What's your Instagram now?
Oh, my Instagram is here. I'll send you a message so that
No,
have.
you sent my information by your IG, right?
I think so. I think we've messaged on Insta already. I'm fairly certain.
Wait, let me go.
Major malfunction.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. I'm finna get down. I'll text you to you.
All right, friend. I will talk to you soon. Oh, I can't wait to get started. It's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna stay in here, but
Okay, so I think Gummy Worm Jim and his chat have some questions for us about a few things, LiveMe and otherwise. Welcome back, Gummy. Welcome, Shelby Tom. Hi, everybody. We are actually currently being hosted on Twitch, so say hi to Twitch. Hi. Take your time, Gummy. I'm gonna be around. We're chilling. We are absolutely chilling. I've got I am in full bedhead mode still. Just woke up a little bit ago. Still having my coffee. Still sitting on my ass. I just did a plant tour and check-in. My folks witnessed as the gooseberry tried to yeet itself off the fucking shelf it's on. Tell the channel a little bit about how I found the app in the community. Well, I've been a live streamer for a long time. I first got started when I was a teenager. I mean, I'm 32 now, but I first got started on the old video chat apps, like when they first, and they weren't even called apps then, it was just like websites on the World Wide Web, because I am 100. Anyway, Stick'em, Tiny Chat, the very beginning of Omegle, Chat Roulette, those. Vampire Freaks had a video chat for like a second, and I was immediately addicted. I was just immediately completely enamored with the whole process of connecting with others live that way, especially being a shut-in weirdo. It was very appealing to be able to put whatever I wanted and whoever I wanted and be whoever I wanted and put that out into the universe and out onto the internet. And then later on, once like smartphones really became a thing and all of the big apps like Instagram and Facebook started implementing video chat, around the same time, a bunch of apps like LiveMe popped up that are just video chat, and that's it. And there's a lot of them that are like pretty much identical to this in function, like how they operate with the gifts and the internal economy and the very specific, hyper specific lingo and the culture, and there's a bunch of them. But something about LiveMe's vibe, it's very weird. It's very eclectic. It's busy. There's a lot going on. And once you fall in with a group of friends or like a community that you vibe with, it's so easy to just dive in head first and really connect with people, surprisingly enough, which, especially when I was really struggling with my mental health, this app and like all the video chat in general was like instrumental in keeping me alive, like helping me continue to connect and remind myself of my humanity and be like, I'm here, somebody please acknowledge me, somebody remind me I'm human. And I just never left. It seems to have its own emote language. It definitely has its own emote language. It's a little unique in that the like emotes here are really just gifts that actually do cost real money. How do emotes play in our interactions and streaming? Oh man. I mean, I talk a lot about community culture and the inside jokes, less so on this app because there aren't really custom emotes like they are on some of the other big ones. So the like community culture and the hyper specific language is different. It's actually very hard to describe. It's hard to articulate exactly what about it. I mean, just like if you're trying to explain, like if you were trying to explain Twitch emotes to somebody who doesn't like know what you're talking about, it's completely baffling and so niche to every community. It's like so it's so individual to every group. It's hard to put words to in a way. And especially because, as I was saying, the emotes on this app are gifts that that are real money. So as a contracted streamer, especially, my way of making money on this app is through these gifts in the form of real dollars that people either are making as contracted streamers themselves or are actually paying money into the app to buy coins to be able to give people presents. So the bringing in this like internal economy, bringing in the money element, changes the vibe of like the emotes. It's definitely so yeah, the community culture and the language tends to be more associated with things like like follow catchphrases, you know, like on YouTube where you have your smash that like button and like hit the notification bell. We have those kinds of like scripts and the catchphrases and the things that you just sort of say, the like, follow, subscribe type stuff. And specifically how that plays into our streaming interactions, is that the bigger the gift, because it's real money, it really does influence the way a broadcaster interacts with their chat. If somebody is like, I've noticed that the more gifts are being given in a broadcast, a lot of the time, the less in-depth conversation is happening, because the broadcaster wants to, you know, acknowledge the people that are giving them presents, wants to acknowledge the people that are supporting us. But at the same time, it's like, I want to have an actual conversation, and it's hard to do that when you introduce the like real money gifts. Not that I'm complaining, but kingdoms are in fact a unique feature. They really harken back to, I know I bring this up a lot, but it really harkens back to like Vampire Freaks, and it really dates me, I realize. But anybody who is on that site knows that they had cults, is what they called it, and it's essentially like having a guild or a clan, or a, you know, if you're like, you know, gaming clan or whatever, or team, or, you know what I mean. It's just this app's version of that, and it's like-minded groups of broadcasters. I mean, sometimes not even like-minded, just groups of broadcasters that team up to bring the kingdom what's called prestige. And prestige does all sorts of things, namely gets the members of the kingdom noticed, which is what everybody wants on this app. I mean, on any streaming app. Like, it always baffles me when people like they say, oh, you just want attention. Like, yes, that is literally why I'm here. What? Vampire Freaks was awesome. Would I say that platforms have a responsibility to show their work? For example, what money is going where? Yes. I wish so much that there were more transparency here on this platform. I can't really speak to the other platforms because I'm not associated with them, but it seems that there is so much money changing hands in the form of emotes and TTS and gifts and all this stuff. I think that both the chatters and the broadcasters on all of these apps deserve to know what that money is doing and where it's going, and who is really actually getting these gifts, you know. Catching up. Vampire Freaks was awesome. Do kingdoms compete against each other? Yes. Yes. I mean, no, but yes. Things like overall stream time, number of follows per stream, amount of gifts, and star points. Star points are not money. They are just support and a boost in the algorithm. All of these things, and all of these things especially really boost the, I want to say, boosts the ability and expands the reach of the kingdom leader. And that kind of by association spreads to all of the kingdom members, as long as they're, you know, active and engaging with their fellow kingdom members and participating, like everybody kind of gets a boost by association, which is helpful. And if a kingdom has a lot of prestige, I mean, there's a whole kingdom ranking section of this app that you can go check out. I am a part of Dowave's kingdom. We are currently number 2 on the app, so no big deal. It's kind of cool, but anyway, I have complicated feelings about the I call it manufactured conflict. And it's a thing that this app and a lot of apps, it's a thing that this app and a lot of apps do, this manufactured conflict thing, where it's not like, I mean, with the head-to-heads it is, but it's not like it's explicitly stated that it's encouraged to beef with other kingdoms, but it definitely is encouraged to beef with other kingdoms. Like, this thing happens, I've seen it happen over and over, because I'm friends with people from, like, a bunch of different kingdoms. Anyway, I've seen this thing happen where 2 kingdom members will have a problem with each other, and then the kingdom leader is kind of, like, backed into a corner in this way where they feel like they need to protect their members, so they tend to pick a side. And then instead of the 2 people either working it out on their own or taking it out of the kingdom chat and dealing with it separately, or just leaving the kingdom and just being good with it, it turns into conflict happens, one person feels wronged, they go to another kingdom who are all then expected to know the history of this drama and who doesn't like who and who isn't speaking to who and who isn't cool with who. And it turns into this whole, like, self-perpetuating drama fest that I do not have any interest in engaging in. And that's not LiveMe specific. That seems to be in streaming communities in general, where I feel like each streamer has such a huge responsibility to manage their community culture. And if a streamer is fostering a community culture that encourages brigading, that encourages harassment of other streamers, if your platform is used exclusively to talk shit about other streamers by name, like, I feel like it's so deeply irresponsible for anybody with a platform to be doing that. Like, I don't like it. And it stresses me out. Social drama from top to bottom. It's all streamers. You're totally right. It is all streamers. It's all streaming platforms. And even those of us who are aware of that dynamic can get sucked into it so easily, because if somebody you care about is being harassed or whatever it is, like, it's so easy to get sucked into the whirlpool of he said, she said, they said. It's exhausting. So I have a policy in my chat. Like, I don't have control over a lot, but what I do have control of is my space, my community, and how I manage that. And we have a policy in our chat that unless someone is a bigot, we don't care. Like, I don't want to hear, okay, I do want to hear about it, but don't name drop anybody. Like, I'm still a nosy bitch, but I'm not gonna, like, engage with talking shit about someone else specifically unless they're, like, a literal racist or a homophobe or a transphobe or, like, otherwise an awful person. I'm not gonna do it. It's fucking ridiculous. The folks who drag pretty girls, oh man. So apparently on this other streaming app, they have folks who drag pretty girls on cam to get views. Have you ever seen any of that on LiveMe? It is an extremely individualist platform. There are people, okay, so there are rules in the TOS and broadcaster rules that make that somewhat challenging. Like, for example, you're not really supposed to have anyone but you on your screen. Sometimes if it's like a group, it's okay. Like if you're all sitting on a couch is not like too much you can do, but generally speaking, it's sort of like discouraged. They want you to sit in full frame, in good lighting, and do stuff, which is sort of it's a very unique format and challenging. But that's not to say that there aren't certain people on this app who use LiveMe, exactly. There are people on this app who use their wallet size to surround themselves with beautiful women streamers who then come and just like hang out around them in their broadcasts, in their 8beams, which is like a group chat, video chat broadcast. So yes, people do totally do that, but we have to do things differently on this app because of the way that it's formatted, because of the way that the TOS works. We have to like change things up, and that kind of person does totally exist. They just had to get clever with how they like made that happen, surrounding themselves with beautiful people to get attention. Popularity contests happen though. I mean, this whole app is like one big popularity contest. Sort of. I mean, not even sort of. Can you discuss the limitations of the platform? Absolutely. I need to take a quick break. I'm going to grab some water. 30 seconds. I will be right back. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm back. Okay. So the question was whether or not I can discuss the limitations of the platform. Absolutely. Yeah, I mentioned OBS. Yeah. Quick breaks. That, I would say, for me personally, like, there's a bunch of stuff about this app that's whatever. It's fine. TOS is TOS, and I'm not going to judge a company for like what they require on their platform. But big, fat, juicy but there are certain limitations and expectations that are placed on broadcasters on this app. You get timed out on the app easily. That's like the understatement of the century, actually. I can sit here for literally hours at a time, full face, engaging with chat, having discussions, listening to music, doing pixel art. By the way, these are the pixel canvas coordinates. If anybody is interested in creating some pixel art with me and my community, this is where we hang out. Anyway, I can sit here fully engaged for 6 straight hours, but God help me if I take more than a minute to pee, wash my hands, and get back here. I find myself literally sprinting to the bathroom because I get timed out so fast. And this happens more the bigger you get and the more, let's say, polarizing of a figure you are. So I discuss a lot of real shit on this channel. We talk about a lot of queer issues. We talk about mental health issues. We talk about a lot of societal issues. We talk about heavy shit. Some people don't love what we talk about. Tend to report me en masse and get their friends to come and report me en masse when they get bored. So then not only am I getting timed out just by the nature of the app being the way it is, and it is a person, so there are actual physical, like real human admin teams that are manually timing people out. If they, you know, scroll into their broadcast and there's no one sitting there, they're going to give you a review warning. And then you have to apply for a review, and then they come back and look. The thing is, if you're getting reported a bunch, they come sooner. So instead of just an admin happening to organically come across my broadcast and realize that I am away from my keyboard for 2 seconds, instead of that happening organically, people are literally summoning admins to my broadcast, so I have to be quick. Would I say LiveMe has more of a bigotry problem? I don't think that it has more of a bigotry problem than anywhere else necessarily. And they do have some pretty hefty like censors on the chat. You may notice that there are certain words you cannot say, and not only can you not say them, but if you type a sentence in chat with that word in it, it'll go, nope, there's a word in this sentence that you can't say, and it just will not send it. It won't post built-in hard moderation. Yeah, extreme. So it's not like it's not admined. It is. Their priorities are a little weird. I get in trouble for smoking weed all the time, even though people will literally be out here like showing randoms their full bare genitals and like getting away with it for long periods of time because an admin just happens to not come by because nobody's reporting them. So like en masse, so they're not getting report bombed, so they're not getting seen as quick as, say, someone like me who is doing something harmless like smoking weed, but also getting reported a shit ton. You know? So no, I would say there's not more of a bigotry problem here. It's just that like I feel like every app has its pros and cons in how they moderate, specifically moderate for bigotry or discrimination. Understaffed human mods and extremely strict algorithms. Yes, that is LiveMe to an absolute T. Yes, 100%. I got shut off for smoking a cigarette. Right, yeah. You're not allowed to smoke cigarettes or cannabis or drink alcohol if it's obvious that it's alcohol. You're not allowed to get, technically, you're not allowed to be visibly intoxicated on stream, especially if you're contracted. You are not supposed to be, like, we gotta be squeaky clean. And I don't always adhere to that, but, you know, I'm a good person and I'm not again, I'm not a bigot. I'm not like going around using slurs. I'm not exposing my bare genitals to strangers. I'm smoking a joint. It's like an app for Nick 830 fans. Oh my god, literally, like, except it's not. Except for now, because life finds a way. Now this thing has happened where there's still the same perverts, racists, creeps, transphobes, like there's still all the same garbage. Now they just get really creative about how they imply slurs. Also, it's almost impossible to moderate a person's speaking voice in real time. Like, I think that's part of the biggest challenge about any live streaming site or any even any chat really, but especially if it's voice. It's so hard unless you're sitting there watching in real time as someone says something horrible. There's only so much they can do because, like, for example, if I have an 8-box video chat open for people to come and hang out with me in, which I do, and I moderate it myself. I can kick people out of the boxes and stuff. But, like, if your beam is open like that, there's nothing stopping people from jumping in and screaming slurs until you remove them. Like, there's nothing stopping anyone except you and your, like, in my broadcast, there's nothing stopping people from doing that except for me and my admins that I personally set for my chat, who are also broadcasters themselves. And it's especially challenging when you're still building your community because mine is still small, dedicated, but small. And so it's hard to find people in your community who are willing and able to properly moderate, like without overstepping, which also happens. That's nice, Case. Thanks. You guys are super important to me too. But yeah, I feel like it's challenging when it's just me. I mean, it's not that it's just me. It's not that I don't have members of my community who totally would take the role of mod, but most people on this app are trying to be a broadcaster themselves. I don't... Does that make sense? Is LiveMe a good platform for marginalized communities? I would say yes and no. It is challenging to be an openly queer person on the internet anywhere. This app, I feel sometimes, is behind the times in certain ways. Especially where identity is concerned. But I haven't found that that's necessarily because folks are like openly hostile about it, but rather that most people, it seems, have just never had that conversation, you know, have just never really been exposed to somebody who is trans or is queer or is like, they've never really had an in-depth conversation about what that means with an actual queer person. And so I don't find that there's like much more hostility than anywhere else necessarily, especially because, as I said, I can moderate my own space. What's up, Strawberry? Welcome. I have so much control over my broadcast and what I allow here that I feel fairly safe while I'm broadcasting because, again, they can't type slurs, and I can kick whoever out I want. So in that way, I feel very protected. And I feel like that gives broadcasters, especially vulnerable broadcasters from vulnerable communities, a lot of agency, which is nice. I will also say that this app is almost entirely run by and, like, I want to say populated by non-white folks. Like, it is mostly people of color. Partially because it's a global app. There's people from literally all over the world. It's extremely diverse, and so you do have like you have cultural overlap, cultural understandings where like it just is. It's just a different place. Like most folks are willing to discuss stuff, but like sometimes they're not, and it is cultural. And that's like not up to me to try to like force anything on anyone. It seems to be tailored to use from a phone. Is it intuitive? No. Actually, it's one of the most chaotic and confusing apps I've ever used in my entire life. Look at all this shit. What? Like, look at it. It's like chaos. Smack dough. Welcome, Beth. Welcome back. I'm doing an awesome little convo interview with Gummy Worm Jim. We are currently being hosted over on Twitch, which is super awesome. Big shout out to Gummy Worm Jim for that. Say hi, everyone. Anyway, I do feel that phone streaming is going to be bigger and bigger as we go along, mostly because the only reason that folks started with like webcam streaming a decade ago was because those were the good cameras. Like that was how you got decent sound and picture onto the internet. But it's actually not necessary anymore to have a full computer tower setup in order to live stream. I'm waiting so much for there to be phone browser, especially OBS integration for phones specifically. We have not gotten there yet. Like, we have the technology to be able to do all of these things from one device, or maybe two, if you have, you know, a backup phone to like for example, I have a backup phone that I join my own broadcast with a second account so that I can make sure everything looks good, sounds good, so that I can, like, for example, spam post to boost my flame level if it's getting too low, that kind of thing. Streamlabs app is close, but a lot of platforms don't support it. Yeah, this one is no exception. It is extremely difficult to host. Like, you may have noticed that there's a games section for people to stream phone games directly to this app through OBS or Streamlabs. So it's not that it's not possible, it's just barely supported. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but the browser version of this app is a fucking nightmare. It's like they threw that thing up and then never thought about it again. Like, literally. So there's a lot of work to be done to make it accessible, to make it safe and intersectional, and to make it futuristic. I feel like we could move into the future in a way that we just for some reason are resistant to. The perfect streaming app. Oh gosh. Options for multi-camera streaming. I don't dislike an internal economy necessarily, though I wouldn't want the whole thing to be based on gambling like this one is. Browser or mobile support. Fully integrated overlay and filter system. Fun filters. People love those. An intuitive chat with a slightly bigger character limit and variable options for censored or disallowed words that the streamer themselves can choose, like, individually. An intuitive, integrated chat and community planning area. Oh my god. Yeah, self-moderation and filters. Yeah. I mean, people would use it if, oh my god, if I could design my own overlay for this, like, that would be so cool. I wish I could choose the size of the chat. I wish it was easier to download my broadcasts. I want to be able to save my broadcasts more easily. Right now, the only option is a screen record, which, as you know, Gummy, is not ideal. Of course, anytime. I love talking about this stuff, especially with streamers from other platforms. I think it's super important that we all are transparent with each other about the goings on these apps, because even though LiveMe is small, it's still got a very devoted user base, and there still are the same issues of community culture here as there are on any other app. So it's like, we have to make the choice as entertainers, as community builders, as people with a responsibility to our chat. I have a responsibility to my community. And so too do we all. I hope to see a world where people with platforms take that responsibility with a little more care, you know? Every time you end your, there's a little circle for saving. Yeah, I can save my broadcast onto this app, but I can't download it. There's no button to download it to my phone if I wanted to, for example. Oh, tons of shout outs. So many freaking shout outs. Shout out to Doughwave as always. Always, always, always. Shout out to Doughwave. Shout out to Layla, my agency leader. Nathan Malfunction, as always, my most devoted fan and follower and friend. Shout out to everyone on Pixel Canvas who is helping us make the LiveMe star over there. I am infinitely grateful. Shout out to Gummy Worm Jim for having us. I really, I think this is an awesome thing. I think that this could be really good for both of our platforms. Like, I love this app, but geez, our horizons could really stand to be expanded a little bit. Like, there's so much more we could do. We'll do this again. It'll be up on the YouTube channel. Let's go. Anybody who wants to go and check out that YouTube channel and watch this conversation again, or, you know, keep up with us, because we definitely will be doing more of this. Check out Gummy Worm Jim VODs on YouTube and twitch.tv. Of course. Thank you. Everyone say bye, Gummy.